come with this because there's no detailed explanation of why they picked him up. Air Peace has even come to say, oh, we don't even have a problem with this man. Let's leave that matter. We're talking about that and the clamp down on agencies because DSS and what do they call it, Sarah, to investigate Sarah. That it was just our routine investigation onto waiting. So what is the problem? By the way, other COS, other civil society organizations are now completely on dissenting voices. But as if that is not enough, let's just go somewhere else. If you talk about political issues, because I have a political scientist in the house, Abure is not giving up on his fights and struggle to ensure that he maintains supremacy of the Labour Party. As Abure has now said that, that 2027 ticket that we said that we're going to reserve for Peter Obi, right now we're not reserving it for Peter Obi again, because right now that 2027 ticket we said we're going to reserve for Peter Obi is now floating. In fact, he has now accused some people. Mentioned an account that he said Aisha Yusufu, Igodalo, signatory to, and they ate a lot of money. Remember that the treasurer, Oluchi, had a billion naira. So we'll have to discuss on what is Peter Obi's fate come 2027 if there's this, squabble and this problem in Labour Party already. But not forgetting Amaka for bias and tribalism. Say why did we say be like this? Amaka is a Canadian lady that Abike Dabiri and the House of Representatives wrote to Canadian government over because of her comment on poisoning Yorubas and Idus, right? So she's been released from, she wasn't even detained anyway. But she's giving her comment and she's sued now Abike Dabiri for bias. How come you're quick to see what I did, but you're not quick to ask us the reason why I did what I did? That's a bias. Well, Dr. Deji, let's start from the beginning. Joe Ajaeros, NLC president, finally released. Remember that the Nigerian Labour gave midnight releasing that are going to shut down the economy. NEC, National Electricity Regulation Commission, was already on standby to turn off on a epileptic power already waiting. They say will finally collapse finally. So they were already on standby. Agencies and parastatals were already on standby. Do you think that the DSS only released him to avert a looming strike?
Well, one can't rule that out because the support that
still got Nnamdi Kanu till today.
Yes.
After how many years?
Yes. So
still with Nnamdi Kanu.
So one can't rule out when DSS arrest, they don't release quite easily. But we need to look at this thing that why would you, in a situation whereby we all know since time fight when there is first days of Aslam to show as chairman, you increase the price of because you increase petroleum pump price, you go after the NLC chairman, you detain him. You detain him, you said you release him on such a strategic man. When you unleash 3-4 security agencies on one man, and like I said,
and
small Ajaero,
even like say treason, I mean, and what will go charge you for treason?
Precious, waiting I do you.
They talk too much on top of this. We need to charge you for treason.
You know, say the treason now. It doesn't be like child's play. Any small thing treason.
So you think that the federal government is trivializing the charge for treason?
It's not only the that the Nigerian government is requesting to keep state was established to bring convenience so that I have more power than you now. You are using a phone. If the phone is better than me, just so that I cannot use my power to snatch that phone. That is what the state, the country exists for. So that life will not be short, nasty, and brutish. But what do we have? We have a country. President, NFC didn't even participate in the protest anyway. And if you allow me to link that Britain.
Perhaps he may have, in one way or the other, done something with the government. That's the reason why they will have the mind to want to treat the government. Do you think he compromised in one way or the other?
Well, for me, I won't give Ajaero a pass mark as much as I won't fail him. The reason why I said I won't give him a pass mark is I expect him to be more active than he is. I believe that Ajaero has been slow because we've had past NLC president that immediately the president and our first subsidy is gone. If they give the president 1 week without initiating, they would have shut down the country.
Like an Adam Soshomole.
Like Adam Soshomole. One dining with the president is the one that.
And that's what gives
And that tiny Ajaero. That if you meet Ajaero one-on-one, just one-on-one, make them leave me and one-on-one. Now, forget say no be Ajaero that blind the high for Imo State. Have you forgotten? When they blind the eye, when the eye just be like small Ajaero, you unleash 3-4 security agencies being paid the taxpayers.
But what does this mean to democracy? Because
what it means to democracy, you will be allowed to vote, but freedom of expression, freedom of protest will be restricted, but election will come, they will still tell you come and vote. So you have authority.
I wanted to ask you that is it something that, okay, but maybe different from what's happening in Cameroon, where you have, but it must be one particular person who would always contest and win.
The reason why you have taken me to them, let me follow you there.
Oh yeah, sorry.
The reason why that is happening in some of these countries, for instance, in Cameroon, is you have one ethnic group, one singular ethnic group that is dominant. You may have other ethnic group, for instance, if it were to be whereby one ethnic group is largely dominant, the case of Cameroon will happen in Nigeria. Whereby the case of African leaders are
thinking that, well, this one way be say don't they shut up everybody when be say they systematic shut up or clamp down on people on certain voices. Advised.
Good question. First, ignorance is no defense. Get before you. When all the evidence are not before you, you can term it ignorance. But when all the evidence are before you and you can see it loud and clear, that is ignorance at its best. When the president was campaigning, they were giving the glory of Fashola, the glory of Ambode to one man. People, they kept quiet. And Nigerian negotiators, when they noticed that is maturing, when that baby begins to mature, you begin to see the true character of the baby. So now, for me,
Jesus.
we are in chapter 2 now. Chapter 1 is anything you chop, you must pay. Like removal of the naira, the floating of this electricity tariff. No longer creating any convenience. But the IMF and World Bank that will tell you to go and remove
subsidized.
Do you know why it is cheap? Do you know why it is cheap?
Why?
For UK citizens. You see those international fees that Africans pay. When they now balance it, they pay lesser amount. The trees will not answer you. It's not trees that will answer you. What will answer you when you say that will provide passport, that will man the border. But the other purpose of government, which is to protect lives and property and to create SOCOM, is missing. It's missing. No SOCOM is being created. Nothing is being done. It's pay as you go. Whatever you want, whatever you chop, you must pay. Nobody is watching your back. In a situation
including when the state has not made jobs available for
exactly
them. Because the state is so, it is a responsibility of the state under social contract.
Of course. That is why abroad, when you don't have a job, they pay you for failing to provide a job.
Because they're not saying that they fail to give you the job. So how can we get to that level in Nigeria? It's really worrisome.
Chapter 2.
Hey.
Chapter 2, I told you, chapter 1, I'm talking of the features
of Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yes, characteristics of.
So this is now characteristics of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration.
Yes, of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration.
Okay, let's go on.
Chapter 1 is
you go pay tire.
You go pay tire.
And chapter 2 now will be written.
Chapter 2, right suppression. I think we can target.
Remember that Bidom is still at large. I said Nigeria is still in custody.
The chapter is evolving.
So that means if we reach chapter 3, 4, 5, God forbid. God forbid. Say God forbid, Dr. Deji.
Which God forbid?
You don't go talk God forbid.
See, it's God. When anything happens and you bring God, God is a busy man. He created about 200 countries. And the people that God created when he wasn't happy, he's attending to them. They are calling him. They are praying now. Countries that have earthquake, typhoon, tsunami. God now is thinking, oh, I created you people when I was annoyed. And those people are calling him. But Nigeria that God created, when he was happy, he gave you enormous human resources, natural resources, good climate. You are still disturbing God. Is God in Nigeria?
Is God not in
so
Nigeria?
Don't bring God. You voted a man with question. What do you expect? Let me say that the identity is questionable. The certificate is questionable.
Till today,
state of origin is questionable.
It's always.
It is only because you just start from your finger, and your finger fail to perform, fail to meet up to expectation. An opposition party brought out a young. Their existence as a political party in power is under threat. They whip up ethnic sentiment. Oh, it's Igbo. Oh, it's Yoruba. If you believe that, it's either you didn't go to school, or you are just foolish or ignorant. So when they play all these gimmicks, they play it because they know that the people will not do the right thing, that it can easily work against the people. That's why they play all this game. So for me, I strongly this second chapter, it will be very long, because if you reach everybody, it has reached freedom, it has reached NSC president. That NSC president that it reached, before you know it, it will reach other people. You that you are a senator, you are sitting in the National Assembly, it will get to your turn. You may even get to the turn of somebody like Akpabio.
How is he going to win and it's a rigged election? How do you think Nigerians will cope? Apologies, sorry.
Good question. The kind of resources Bola Ahmed Tinubu, even before becoming president, I can't rule out the major political parties are in disarray. What do you think will happen? Surely Bola Ahmed Tinubu will to do what? So this chapter that government is unleashing, it will be a it will still get to the almighty. For instance, Akpabio, you know that ordinarily the president prefers somebody like Oshiomhole as Senate president than Akpabio. He prefers somebody like Oshiomhole. He prefers somebody like this guy, if not that he's a Yoruba guy, somebody like Okoyemi Bamidele.
1% loyalist.
In the Senate today, do you know that the president is so mighty because he is a grandfather to some of those? I'll give an example. Dr. Abiodun, your brother, the Eleyi.
Let me put it, let me give you it there.
It means
you
common
will not be a
use.
governor without me.
You know, the Eleyi of Ogun State, if Dr. Abiodun helps you to come to power as a senator, that means that Dr. Abiodun is your godfather. If Dr. Abiodun is your godfather, right, he help you to come to power. Do you know that Tinubu is not your godfather? He's your political grandfather.
Whoa.
Because that person that you are looking up to, that is commandeering you, that is steering the ship of your decision. So in the National Assembly, Tinubu do not only have political godsons like Oshiomhole, he also has political grandson in the National Assembly. So when this is political grandson, they have now matured, and now to be a Senate president, you must be a. We have many returning senators. Choice may no longer be Akpabio. And because Akpabio too is a guy that cherish power, he's a guy that know how to spend, he's a spender like Wike,
like Tinubu too.
like Tinubu. So he will naturally first want to resist. By that time, Bola Ahmed Tinubu would have, if God tarries in his coming.
So wait, God
So
forbid,
if
God forbid,
I'm coming. If this tyranny continues, the reason why I said it may eventually get to the Almighty. By that time, the Akpabio that failed to condemn the illogical arrest of Ajaero, na in DSS go carry. Matthew Yemoa, great scholar, he said, why you have to condemn impunity? You may think, oh, it is Ajaero today, don't worry. Before you know it, will get to your turn. And according to Matthew Yemoa, when injustice was being done to other people, was it that Ajaero has already been profiled inside DSS system? You know that if you are traveling at the airport,
yes.
If you are traveling at the airport,
there's a lot of
if you are traveling that are usually close to immigration for international, you don't know who they are.
Yes.
They just collect your passport. Those are DSS. They are DSS. What are they checking for? To see whether you are a person of interest to the few seconds, your passport number or something, or your name. If there's nothing, they will give you back. Some people that are traveling, some of you watching me that are traveling, you don't even know who is collecting your passport. You just see them sitting on counter, you just obey. Those are DSS.
So Dr. Deji,
so why will you profile somebody like
the NLC president?
The NLC president. If the NLC president can be profiled, maybe they are even typing your own profile now.
That they own, they're going to type.
Maybe they are typing your own now.
Type so Dr. Deji, see, this is very scary because first of all, remember that
it's not so pressure. It's not yet scary.
No, Dr.
No, scary. See, oh, precious.
So you mean that it will be worse than this?
Person just they start. The president, in terms of tyranny, is booting. It's on 5%. You are saying scary. What if he now boot reach 45, 50, 60%? What will you say?
God forbid. So
scary now. It's not really the right way. Save yourself.
Who be that? The
people that you don't see them in Aso. Which day did you last see Fashionoti in Aso Rock? Which day did you see Pa Akonde, the one they call Baba Mokekeke, the first chairman of APC? When last did you see him in Aso Rock? Olusegun Oshoba. When did you see him last in Aso Rock? These are the people that can look him in the face and tell him when they are in the closet. And the argument between them gets hot. And they tell him that, Bola, there may be people that want to remove you, but there's hardship in the land. Is this somebody like Bajabi Amila that may be planning to become governor in Lagos State?
Or by another
An ethnic bigot.
And meanwhile, wait, why president never? Now, what's the president?
I will talk about Bayo Nonuga when we get to the case of Amaka.
Oh.
Amaka so mega.
So look, we leave at first.
Who are the people that can tell the president stop? You don't see them around the villa. The people you have are his hallelujah boys, his praise singers,
people he made,
people that cannot look him in the face and tell him the truth, because maybe they know he doesn't like the truth or he doesn't even want to hear the truth. Those are the people in the villa. So the president, being a power-oriented guy, and if you, when they know that if they come and meet him, that there is hardship in the land. For instance, now you are my oga. I know that hardship in the land, though, you will bullshit me. You won't want to hear the truth. But if I come and tell you, what will I come and tell you? You want me to keep coming to tell you that your government is bad, there's hardship in it? No, I will just be coming to tell you that, oh, your government is the best. Don't mind them, they just want to remove you. They are yet to come, they are yet to overcome the shock of the election. You are the best thing that has ever happened to Nigeria. Who has done best like you? Nigerians are praising you all over the country. That deal with these people. That is what you will see that people will now be doing. So you don't even have people that can tell this man the truth. You don't have people around him that can tell him, Bola, stop. Some of the people that are very vocal, that can still take the risk. People like Bayo Nonuga will come for them. And you know that when you are going to some certain stage, there are some insults you want to avoid. Imagine somebody like Bayo Nonuga now abusing somebody like Obasanjo. Who was Bayo Nonuga when Obasanjo was the military head of state? That Obasanjo at that time can decide to wipe out Bayo Nonuga's family without consequence. So if they know that he doesn't like the truth, and they know that he has people around them that they will just misinterpret it, they will just keep quiet.
So let's go to this Bayo Nonuga's case. Amaka, the lady, you know that the police in Canada invited.
So watch out for chapter 3. Now chapter 2.
God forbid. But Dr. Deji, do you know that
the chapter 3? I don't know what it will be.
School resumed yesterday. Lots of students could not go back to school. Parents cannot afford to. Fear, it hard for people to feel back. So whether it is not easy for you to pay for tariff. In fact, somebody called me on my show on radio the other day and said that what they do now is that the whole of their streets is in darkness because people they are on band A, but they cannot afford the meter, so they rather would not subscribe. Everywhere they're on darkness.
I told you don't complain yet. Because see, as it is, you will run a journey from all what we can see. They will contest an election. Is he a better that won't work in favor of the president? If Mahmoud Yakub goes away from there, the appointee will be somebody appointed by Tinubu, a staunch loyalist. You expect Tinubu to lose. So all things being equal, Tinubu, the judiciary, he just appointed judges there. Okay. And a bad precedent has been set. The case of Onoge. So if you find yourself as the chief justice, that you want to behave yourself so that they don't just remove you in a shameless manner.
And Buhari said that case on
So you are running a marathon of 8 laps. You just run year 1. You are complaining.
Hey, God no great.
No, let's be sincere with that. 8 years, wait, precious.
Sir,
wait,
sir.
So that you know how to drink Lucozade.
Hey, wow,
8 years journey. 8 years.
So you think that this government will do 8 complete years?
Oh my, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you want to take power for Bola Ahmed Tinubu? See, this is a guy that, with profound respect to him, the kind of power arrogance that he would rather die. Somebody said, "Emi no come." This is something he has been planning for. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has information as former governor of Lagos State. The reason why Lagos State do not have effective Conde was there. They have already awarded the contract. Buhari did that coup. They cancel to bring the same Buhari, despite having that information. Buhari got there. He didn't give him the free will to be commandeering him. He came second time, despite the fact that Buhari did not give him free will in his first time. He still supported him. Since the first day that Buhari was sworn in, the north, Tinubu will go and give them now. If you are a politician and Tinubu.
Great Precious, good afternoon to you. So let's move quickly to that. Abike was biased in her judgment of her, that she did not make effort to find out why she, Amaka, had that outburst that she had.
Well, it's good for Amaka Somberga to sue Abike Dabiri, but when I heard about that suing Abike Dabiri, the case of jurisdiction comes to mind.
Where exactly will be the jurisdiction? In Nigeria or in the same Canada?
Where will be the country of arbitration? Because
where is Abike Dabiri resident? Because
the Abike that you sued, does Abike even maybe have a Canadian visa? If Abike,
just on a diplomatic passport.
Yes, if Abike even have a Canadian visa, let's assume that Abike has a Canadian visa.
But did she, Amaka, did Abike write Canadian authorities to apprehend Amaka?
I think,
and Canadian authorities actually acted.
I think,
so that's the thing.
I think that you can convince Canadian authority to present your case, which I think Amaka has strong evidence that she can. Evidence abound. She can present her case. But for Amaka to say she's suing Abike, like if you look at it, the hearing of the case, or Amaka will be in Canada.
Would they even release
our lawyer will be fighting the sue Abike in Canada. Does Abike have ties with Canada? Because if you sue somebody, the court system also operates on that. No recourse to. If Abike, for instance, that means that you look at Canada, you see that, oh, Canada has something that interests you. If you use the Canadian legal system or you are sued under the Canadian legal system, that is also the recourse to public fund. So you can only be sued under the Canadian legal system if you have committed an infraction against the Canadian system. Then the Canadian system will now use their system to bring you to book. But Abike has not committed an infraction against the Canadian system. So what I think Amaka should be doing is to focus more on exonerating herself, particularly within the Canadian system, which is a system of records, to make sure that she plays her argument. Our lawyers can be interacting with the system, civil societies, advocates, and she herself making intelligent submissions to make sure that she is not profiled as an ethnic jingoist, which the Nigerian government is trying to present, to make sure that she is not profiled as an ethnic bigot, to make sure that the powers of our village people no catch am.
So you make so if you were to advise Amaka, you advise her not to even get close to Nigeria at all, because of course definitely you'll be looking for her.
Well,
and
see, even if you are not looking for her, see,
you know the grace of fair hearing which you get for Canada.
You know the way Nigerian system works. Nigerian system is a system whereby if a governor just doesn't like you, doesn't like the way you catwalk, he can detain you.
You see, this your step. Your catwalk is too catty. You didn't add some dog walk to it, so we don't like you. Let's arrest you.
They'll just arrest you. So even if Amaka comes into the country now, with the power that Abike Dabiri has. And because Abike Dabiri now happens to be a Yoruba close to the president, you know this presidency, it's as if when Bola Ahmed Tinubu was president, his parent has Igbo neighbor that used to collect his biscuit. It is now that he's now taking the revenge.
So you think there's like a personal vendetta against
in Daniel 5:25.
That there is a deliberate hatred against
God. See,
by this administration.
See,
deliberate hatred against the Igbo by
if
the Bola Ahmed Tinubu
see,
administration. Is it just a Bola Ahmed Tinubu thing or the entire, I mean, everyone around him?
If they follow his footsteps,
so whatever he hates, he hates.
Nigeria, do you know what they call political hallelujah boys? That means their duty is to praise him. Why is it that, for instance, even in the media, let me use a station like TVC. When Buhari was in good bed with Tinubu, TVC was praising Buhari. When Buhari did not cooperate with Tinubu for the presidential ticket, TVC started criticizing Buhari. When Buhari got the presidential ticket, TVC started talking well about Buhari. Those working in TVC is not for instance, the way they even select topic, the way they dance around this Joe Ajaeros topic yesterday, they just danced around it for like 5 minutes, then went to one irrelevant topic and spent minutes. So what are the Igbo? What have they done? So when you fail to perform as a government, or you fail to meet up to expectation in Lagos State, and there is a party that presented a young guy, a graduate of Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the United States, a young guy, brilliant guy, and they present him as an alternative, and he wrote the Hausa Fulani with profound respect to them, that bandit is from their side, S-men is from their side. You didn't condemn those ones because they are in bed with you. But the Igbos that are living legitimate life, you now create ethnic hatred just to rescue yourself. And some of our ignorant Yoruba people, some of our people with half education, they will buy into it.
So you think that hatred for Igbo, that ethnic baiting was as a result of some...
He knows. What do you see? In a democracy, there's a power that citizens have, because they say the democracies are judged as the best form of government because it is those you are ruling over that will determine who will govern them. That is why, so that government can fear the people. That's why there's a democracy. Any democracy that you have, that government does not fear the people, it is the people fearing the government. It is either a flawed democracy, something is wrong somewhere. In this democracy that we have now, democracy, there is one power. How do you know a true is citizens usually have this cease and desist order, the power to issue a cease and desist order. What do I mean by that? Cease and desist means stop. Don't do it again. In a democracy, citizens will issue a cease and desist order. Stop that buying of yacht. Don't do it again. Government will not hear. Stop that buying of Airbus, or if you like, private jet. Government will still go and buy it. No cease and desist order. That is a flawed democracy. You can only do that when you know that there are means for you to cut corners. Either through the flawed institution.
You know that presidential jet that they got now was not made provision for by the budget, right? Until now, people have been asking for the government to explain where they got the fund from, because since it wasn't appropriated, where did they get the fund from buying till today? The government, I don't want to say, do you think that this administration calls the bluff of Nigerians?
See, if NNPC,
like, they not send us, like, speak to the fingers, they say when I want to talk them, and they talk out. Because how is it possible that they till now they're not explaining to Nigerians how they got funds to buy the jets?
See, government is always at its best in its first term.
So what you're saying now is the best.
I am shocked that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, this is his first term, going to 7 years in office, and we are seeing this. That's why I said brace up. Because government are usually worst in their second term. The best performance, don't take my word for it. Look across the world. Just imagine. The best performance of a government is usually in the first term.
I agree.
If first term can be like this, that second time you hear call me that Dr. Deji. If you try my number, I no go, I don't escape to Benin Republic.
Maybe Nigeria go make Burkina Faso. But you see what Burkina Faso is saying? Maybe Burkina Faso.
Maybe na Burkina Faso you go escape to. Because the government is still booting. When it boot finally, if Tinubu spend 8 years, reach 5,000 naira per litre, then Nigeria will only be for beautiful ladies. We that we are the men, we are in problem. You know why? Do you know why?
The women will find they carry their
wait, do you know why?
Money for back.
Wait, do you know?
What?
That's what I want to explain.
How?
Let's practicalize now.
No, Dr.
Wait now. Let's do a practical. Let's walk out of this studio. Start crying on the street that you are hungry. Let me too cry. Let's see who will make money. People will look at you, oh, fine lady like you, you know. You will see one babalaye with problem. You are crying because of winter. Let me take you out to eat. He will take you to the finest restaurant. He will be looking at you. His brain will not be calculative again. He will say, I will know that, I see your skin as it's glowing. I'll take care of you. Food is not a problem. But me, they will look at me and say, useless man. My friend, go and walk. By the time people wait now, by the time people
not be treated.
But I am telling you the truth. Nigerian men, no, they use as see fingers.
Well, that's what let's
no, my viewers, no, they are on YouTube. Wait, I'm not offending anybody. When some of you that listen to Precious on radio, have you ever seen anybody calling and say that you are handsome? No, be only pretty Precious. Precious, you are beautiful. Precious, you are handsome. The day you put yourself up for adoption, remove your hand for face. Make people see your.
Dr. Deji, I get comments.
Wait, before you attend to the comment, YouTube is endless. YouTube is endless time. Wait, YouTube is endless time. YouTube no dey charge. The day you put yourself up for adoption on radio, how many people call say they wan adopt you?
They no call o. Till today I see the excuse me.
Wait,
I see the up for adoption.
Me I no dey in studio with you that day. Who call say they are interested in you?
Why they never talk about adoption papers? Till today, since last year, more than 1 year now, give up.
But people were indicating interest.
Where is it? Let them
they will call in and say, pretty Precious.
Now wash.
Pretty Promise.
Now wash, Dr. Deji.
Precious and Promise.
It is deceptive.
Precious is here in the end. Promise is here in the background, so smiling.
It is deceptive.
They will say Precious and Promise. Pretty Precious. Nobody has ever called you to say handsome Deji. Do I resemble Oshomole?
I'm not Nigerians.
People, make una give me comment. Am I not handsome?
So do you resemble who?
Do I resemble Oshomole? Because let me know if Oshomole is my. Am I not handsome?
Oh, excuse me. Fellow Nigerians. So this is just another call for adoption. I am up for adoption. And in case you want to adopt a very grown-up old woman, I can work very hard.
Precious, make me your PA. Because I know that.
Dr. Deji, make I read my
because I know that person watching from Australia now is already thinking of how to adopt you.
Well, Dr. Deji, make I read my comments.
I will adopt me too.
Okay, blessing. I see you say results to stand and the Blackstone says that the broadcast is always breaking. I would work on the network. Thank you so much. That's a good update to work on it. We can't really tell because we're not seeing it from here. And Abike says, when men of God practice tribalism, then there is no hope. And then he says, Tunde Bakari wanted to save Nigeria from Jonathan. Now that Nigeria needs a savior, he entered voicemail using the name of God in vain. And then above is NNPC of Nigeria versus Aramco of Saudi Arabia. Comparison. Don't even go to there. Dr. Deji, Aramco, NNPC. Can we dare compare? Do you know that Aramco, till today, if a little as a needle is in any of their pipeline, the needle kind of leakage is in any of their pipeline, they can dictate it and they know.
See,
Not be say you go fit carry their oil siphon go.
You see this
Not
guy,
be say you go fit tip oil. That is, you're not tipping. That a little needle, they go fit know.
of course.
You know, people used to say that because federal government does not have any business, or government does not have any business with private business or running businesses. But is Aramco not government owned? How is it successful that we cannot be successful? Or is it just because of the corruption that is embedded in us?
Well, good question, Precious. You see, one of the things we have is lack of visionary leaders. And this question you ask me will take me back to 1970s, during the era of oil boom. You see, during those era of oil boom, oil was very appreciative. Nigeria was earning money. That was when Gowon says the problem of Nigeria is not money, but how to spend it. About that time, countries that gained independence around that time that has oil refineries, they were giving their people good social values. Nigerian leaders, what were they doing? Stealing, corruption, and that have moved
was just
from one generation of leaders to another. And when Obasanjo got there, that he had the opportunity after the military to have set good standard, what did we have? He made politics very lucrative in such a way that.
Wait, who made it? Obasanjo?
Obasanjo
in 1999.
Of course.
Why do you blame him?
Good.
People said it's because of the constitution that was handed to him. Shebi, now you tell me, say Obasanjo not even swear in with the constitution. After he's swearing in, then they bring constitution and give him. So you don't use constitution, say abide and I swear by this constitution.
Sorry.
You don't use and swear in for the first
Sorry,
time.
is it for a situation whereby citizens can't feed themselves? Is it constitution or lack of leadership? There are some countries with worse constitution than our own that are better than Nigeria. Do you know that countries that practice unwritten constitution, some of our viewers that did elementary government in secondary school would have read about written constitution, unwritten constitution. Written constitution is very rigid. Amen. Unwritten constitution is the most difficult to practice because you can't go into any specific book and begin to say, oh, this is the laws of the country. And there are countries that practice unwritten constitution.
And they're doing well.
And they're doing well. More than Nigeria. So it's about leadership. For instance, they said, oh, you should appoint head of security agencies. Has the constitution not right? So is it because the constitution expects that you will be a matured man to have become the president? So you now have to appoint everybody from your ethnic group. So the constitution must not be a tele-guide. There is no perfect constitution anywhere. So what we need is men that are not greedy, men that are fair, and that is what Nigeria. Men that are focused.
So let's leave.
What is turnaround maintenance?
The Nigerian meaning or the real meaning?
What is turnaround maintenance?
Yes, I talk on the Nigerian meaning.
Turnaround maintenance. In this case means that, Precious, you have a car, right? The reason why you have that car is for that car to serve you.
Absolutely.
When you have a refinery, the simple meaning is for you to turn raw crude oil into finished product.
Yes.
So now, moving. Despite having Ajaero lock him up 6 months, and the DSS faced president and said, no, it is wrong. Fear of God. Don't just sit down and be watching. No. Contribute. Ask questions. I want to hear your question. Let me answer your questions. Ask questions.
So Tuni Bakare, the guy mentioned Tuni Bakare leading or being part of those who led the he said he was going to lead 1 million march against Jonathan and all that. But since this administration, most of these religious leaders have been silent. They've not said anything. Most of them saying anything as a Yoruba. That's why it's
no, it's not because he's a Yoruba man. it is either because you know that what you try with Jonathan, you can't try it with Tinubu.
Go to that Abure and Peter Obi's matter and a Labour Party is reserved for Peter. He has rescinded that decision. So what is going to happen to Peter Obi? Because people are saying the Obedience don't want him to go to PDP because they think that PDP is corrupt. The Labour Party that they think that they could all grow together with is also more corrupt than PDP. So what's going on?
Good question. That Labour Party became a force to reckon with. Most of the people that won the election was because of the political capital of Peter Obi. The guy that won House of Rep in Lagos. That people were saying, how can this South win? How can he defeat Banky W? Was it not because of the political capital of Peter Obi? It was the advantage of Peter Obi. So I don't think it has any consequence, major consequence for Peter Obi. And to make it well, there's still time. That's one benefit for Peter Obi. I think if they have made this declaration close to 2027, political structure, because you need a political structure, because you need a now any party that Peter Obi goes to, and that's it, even if Peter Obi goes to SDP, for example, if you look at all these mushroom parties, the one that have name, because there are some parties that they don't even have name, Labour Party will be very happy to have Peter Obi, so that they too, maybe 30 Peter Obi, okay. Because Peter Obi has already popularized Labour Party. Labour Party over time will die a natural death. We return back to its days of old. Because the boy of Labour Party is Peter Obi. So I think the people in Labour Party, they should be. So if he leaves, Peter Obi, to me, to my mind, he doesn't have any major thing to lose, and he should just rather strategize. He still has the time. He should now look for a party that he can have an agreement with, not impromptu, like he rushed from PDP to Labour Party. He should build a party that will be organic to him, just as Kwakwaso built NNPP. You know, NNPP now is more like the property of that of Peter Obi, and they are not desperate to have him out. Like these people are desperate.
They suspended him at some point. Even suspended the governor in Kano State. That is an NNPP member. So
but now, have you heard anything about to ease Peter Obi out? And they if Peter Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president, there's problem in PDP, there's problem in Labour Party. Don't you know the man Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Have you followed his political trajectory? The confidence at which he is even ruling. He knows that if there's problem in PDP, there's problem in Labour Party, no matter how I will win. So all he needs to do is to set fire in Labour Party. And you have some hungry people that have not seen money before. Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot spend 1 billion. And what is 1 billion to him? Chicken chain. Before he set Labour Party on fire. Look at this man, Apapa, during the election, during the tribunal case, when Apapa, that man with white beard, that you won't give is Labour Party. He is the one that Labour Party is enjoying his grace, if I can put it like that. I'm rolling with you. Cars are passing by. let's say you and they are pressing on, offering us lift, and I begin to deceive myself that it's because I'm handsome, it's because I look good. Let me take a walk alone, then the secret will be revealed that it is because of Precious that is working with me. Their cars are passing by and they are hooting. That is exactly how it is as regards Peter Obi and Labour Party. What is the political relevance of Labour Party before Peter Obi? How many House of Representative seats did they win in 2019? So if you minus Peter Obi from Labour Party, they know that if Peter Obi leaves, the end of Labour Party is near. But their aim is to make sure that Peter Obi does not get there. That is their aim.
All right, thank you.
But Peter Obi is still politically marketable. See, let me tell you something. Imagine in 2027, PDP, Labour Party, they now agree. And they now present somebody like Peter Obi. And they give him a strong candidate in the north. A very credible candidate in the north. Don't you think they will give Bola Ahmed Tinubu a very strong ground for his money?
Of course they will. Even by the way the last election went. I mean, if it was very free and fair, you know that...
If Peter Obi can pull that kind of effect in Lagos, those are organic.
If he can even pull 6 million votes by the rigging.
What is
by the rigging? For INEC to admit that he got over 6 million votes with their rigging. Imagine how much votes...
Minus the vote in River, because there are ones on the street that it was Labour Party that naturally won the presidential election in River.
I said plus the rigging, he got 6 million.
So what Peter Obi
if you can get 6 million with the rigging, that is for Nigerian government to admit that this person got 6 million votes. Let me say true, that person
what
is supposed to win the
it
election.
is and the northern support. Okay. If they can give him a good deputy, for instance, I have asserted on another platform that Peter Obi needs somebody that is contrast to him.
Since it's all cool,
let me give you the example.
He needs a bit of radical around him.
Let me give you the example. They know that Buhari, who is seen as a somewhat extremist, allegedly, will not sell in the south. But in the core north, when he said, "Why are you killing my people?" they began to love him. They know that he will sell in the north. What did they do? They pair him with a pastor, contrary. Somebody like Sheikh Gumi. Have you heard that they stole Sheikh Gumi in the north? It is in the south that they are criticizing. That is what he needs.
That's what Peter Obi needs.
Oh my God! If in 2027 you have Peter Obi and Sheikh Gumi, those core north that believe in what Sheikh Gumi is doing, he will get their vote. They will begin to like Peter Obi. Peter Obi already has the southern support. So what Peter Obi needs is not, a posh northerner like Obidati. No, it's a political loss.
So he doesn't need a person.
That's Baba Ahmed that reasons logically, owns a university. No.
So they need radical.
You need radical like Sheikh Gumi.
Hey!
I'm telling you.
Are you serious?
Oh my God. You need a radical person
so how do you
that can appeal to the extremists in the core north.
So do you think that a Peter Obi can work with such a radical?
If he wants to be president, he has to. Peter Obi, I'm giving you free consultation as a politician. If you come to me for consultation, I will charge you hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm giving you free now. Free. He needs somebody like Sheikh Gumi. Take it or leave it. See, if Sheikh Gumi comes to the west, to the south, he will have problem. Has he have problem in the north? Has he have problem in the north? Don't they know his house? They call him Sheikh. more like an Islamic leader. If you go to his mosque, is he not praying with people?
Okay,
why haven't they stoned him?
So Dr. Deji, so Blessing from YouTube is asking how we can
Blessing,
end this
God
mess.
bless you.
He's asking how we can end this mess. And I'd rather have to add that how can we end this mess, considering that we even have some elite Nigerian who tried to contest for election in Ireland, and
I'm happy they sat down.
Understanding what she did, her contribution towards the last 2023 election, Nigerians went to her page to give her buzz. The Ireland people are already angry because they feel that they are marginalized in UK, and then you now come and want to come be an immigrant to come and in Nigerian language.
That is some of the hypocrisy that I'm talking about.
So how do we
hold on, precious.
Yes, please.
Yemi Adenuga, Abi.
Yes.
You are a supporter of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, right? That means you too, you'll be somehow discriminating against Igbo. You don't want somebody that his mother is Igbo, his father is Yoruba, to govern Lagos State. Which one is far? Igbo to Yoruba land. But you want to go and rule over them in Ireland. Did you say you dey wise? You are a mumu girl. A mumu girl.
So it's future impossible tense.
See, hypocrisy is a problem. You don't want an Igbo man to rule
in Nigeria.
But you want to go and rule over them in Ireland. How do you connect to Ireland? She will lose. She must lose. In fact, let me add in Jesus' name so that I can be fast. Let me go spiritual.
All right, thank you, Dr. Deji. I appreciate it.
Because you can't encourage. I will book tickets. Okay,
how do we end this? How do we end this mess? Dr. Deji, it's not
possible.
So how do we get out of this? Yeah.
Listen. Atiku sitting in the same bus beside Shetima. If Tinubu had attended that something, but wait your neighbor. That child will go to school and hate the Igbo in his class. So what am I trying to say? Take a U-turn. Political education. You see?
But that is what
they already know. No. If everybody is saying that, you vote, I vote. So, and another thing is, be fair to your community. If I'm stingy, I won't be talking to you that you'll be hearing me. You that you are hearing me, the little that you know, have you educated your mother? Have you educated the tout in your community? How about your friends at work? Have you encouraged them? So if they bring 2,000 naira, imagine, precious, imagine. Last election, I think they were buying votes. 5,000 downward. As low as 2,000 to vote.
And people were taking it to vote. And see where we are today.
You were buying for 1 something now. 8 something, 9 something, 1,000 naira.
That is the money.
And you collected 2,000.
If you afford more than 2 liters of fuel these days.
If you times 365 times 4, that is 365 days in a year times 4, and you divide it by 2,000, how much is it per day? Does that money equate the kind of suffering Nigerians are going through? So we need to begin to come to realization. Don't be an instrument in the hands of these guys. Because when politicians know, that's why I come to the people first. Before going to constitution and all this. Because when politicians know, politicians are like students. Students today in universities, if it is possible for you to admit them today and just write certificate and give them, you are a good person, you are happy, they are happy. But you bring checks and balances, you curb malpractice to make sure that they be at their best. So when politicians know that if they don't perform, they will lose. If Tinubu knows that he cannot use money to buy people, if Tinubu knows that people are politically conscious, just like abroad, what is helping them? Do you think that if they are politically dull like Nigerians, do you think their leaders will be behaving like Nigerian leaders? It's because they are politically conscious. So when there is political consciousness, leaders will begin to perform better. Because when you know that if election comes, you will lose. You will lose. When you know that people are ready to die because of their vote, that before hunger kills me, my vote is tied to hunger, my vote is tied to my child education, my vote is tied to my security, and people stand their ground to protect their vote, do you think politicians will not perform if they want to remain in office?
Thank you so much, Dr. Deji. Well, Dr. Deji has said it all. Go and follow him. If you're not following him on YouTube now, go and subscribe. He's at Dr. Omoshla. Did I say Doctor? He's at Polythink with Deji.
Polythink with Omoshla.
Yeah, Polythink with.
Precious, I'll find you $10,000.
Sorry.
I will find you $10,000.
Is too much for you to find. So it's Polythink with Omoshla Deji. Polythink. Poly for P-O-L-I-T-I-N-K with Omoshla Deji. And Dr. Deji, they drop lamba. Plenty lamba for that place. You need to join him. He goes live from time to time. He should be your go-to guy in everything politics. Dr. Deji, thank you so much.
And also recommend this channel to your people.
Yes.
Precious Enyi TV.
Precious Enyi.
Wait, leave me. Precious Enyi TV. Any misfriend.
Don't say it.
Any misfriend. And Precious try to be your friend.
Live on his platform, we're live, so we'll go live together to discuss issues. It's a big conversation, so it may be weekly, so that we'll look at an array of conversations for that week, and it's going to be a long life. You cannot look.
And you tell them to come and subscribe. Tell them a lot of because political education is seriously needed. The country that you are living in. If the government of Canada is not a sensible government, don't you know that Amaka will be locked up by now?
Absolutely.
If Canadian government is a government that Nigerian government can lord over, maybe like Benin Republic, like Togo,
like Ghana, that they try to repatriate David Hunting at that
yes, like Ghana, that lady Amaka will most likely be in prison by now.
Yes.
Well, because the Canadian government is a civil government. It takes the effort of Canadians, the political education from Canadians, the intellectual sophistry of Canadians. So don't be selfish. When you are intellectually sophisticated, help people by telling them about this kind of Precious Enyi TV now. Tell them, he is friend. Precious like it.
So the idea is because I like to break down politics to the grassroots. So now I make add a spice of preaching inside, so that those who may not understand all of those grammar could just calm down and understand what we're saying, because at the end of the day, communication cannot be effective if there is no decoding. So the idea is we need to decode the information, and it is my duty to break it down to your level to ensure that you decode. I appreciate you guys. I love you. Kindly subscribe. Dr. Deji, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe. Thank you. God bless you.